I see triple vertically, but with the glasses, they help me see double better. So everything is really terrific. And I said to her, you need to keep these eyes going for 500 years. And she said, 500 years? Why? I said, because I want to live for 500 years. And she said, who's going to be around for you to talk to? And I said, anybody that doesn't know Jesus.
Amen.
It's all I live for. It's all. And so if Saint Therese could spend her heaven doing good on earth, we could spend our earth doing good for heaven. And if we do this individually, we could do well. But if we do it through the Station of the Cross, we reach, I'm just going to say, millions of people. I don't have a figure, but I don't need a figure. Through thousands, you have 18 networks, and through EWTN, and through iCatholic Radio app, and the internet, stationofthecross.com. You don't know how could you ever know how many people you reach? So, beloved, Jake, do we have a goal this hour? Is it 8,000 again?
I believe the goal is 8,000, and I'm going to give out the phone number as well, Mother. The phone number for calling in to donate is 1-877-711-8500. That's 877-711-8500. And I do want to thank a couple of people. We've had some donors already in our hour here, Mother.
Oh, so bless you all.
We've got Scott from Rochester, New York, and Scott called in a one-time donation of $325.
Oh,
that's a wonderful
Scott,
donation there.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
But if it was, let's see, 25, 40, if it was $40 more, is that right? $360 or $35 more?
I think the $360, that's the $1 a day gift.
It's $1 a day, Scott. Come on. What did I say? $30 more? 30 is 50. So $35 more. Scott, $325 is heaven. It's heaven. It's heaven. It's terrific. It's more than we had 2 minutes ago. But if you add $35 to that, it's $1 a day. You'll be a mission partner, and you'll get all the gifts from cumulative from the Station of the Cross, and you will get, what does he get? A brown scapular and a book on the Catholic Church Has the Answer, and you're also going to get this that I keep trying to figure out how to hold up, The Family, A Sacrament to the World, a live talk that I did at an EWTN conference, and they recorded it, so it's on DVD. And you're also going to get the greatest pro-life movie ever done. Let's see now. I keep doing
it. There it is.
It's Unplanned. It's the story of what she saw changed everything. Abby Johnson. It is fantastic. And so with a mission partner, it's $360, $1 a day. Oh, Scott, $35. You'll get the DVD, and you'll get the scapular, but you won't get everything else, and you won't get the movie, and you won't get the Catholic Church Has the Answer, and $35 more. You'll be a mission partner, Scott. Don't miss out on that. Just give up dessert for your family Friday night. All right? And you'll make it, Scott. Oh, God bless you.
And in this day and age, $35 is basically one dessert. So
come on. That's what I mean. I know. So you said Scott, and then who else called?
We've got Anonymous from Snyder, New York, which is basically just on the road from our studios here in Buffalo. And Anonymous gave a wonderful gift of $1,000. Intention says, pray for the success of the fall campaign and for everyone's intentions. That's wonderful, Anonymous. Thank you.
Anonymous, can you take a hug from me? Through the internet. This is so, $1,000. This is so terrific. God, and then you're going to get everything. You're going to get every gift anyone ever imagined. Okay.
And the best gift of all is that they're keeping the network going. They're keeping our shows on the air. They're keeping the Word of God flowing through everyone's internet and radio and everywhere in between. And we also had a gift from Elizabeth in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and that was the 360, the mission partner level. So thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Yay. Elizabeth, give Scott a call and ask him to bring in $35 more so he could be a mission partner too.
And if you want to join those three donors, the phone number is 877-711-8500. I've been hearing the phone ringing. There it goes again. So this is really wonderful to hear. We've got a lot of great volunteers waiting in the call center.
Yay.
And so please join us.
Okay. And then you could donate through thestationofthecross.com and your iCatholic Radio app. So as I was saying, just wrapping up this thought, Saint Therese of Lisieux on the feast day today, and every day she said, I'm going to spend my heaven doing good on earth. And we can spend our earth doing good for heaven. By individual engines, we can do so much. But through the Station of the Cross, we reach hundreds of thousands. And through those hundreds of thousands, you will never know this side of heaven what your gift has done. You will never, never, never know. Scott, okay, $35 more. Elizabeth, you're off the hook. You're a mission partner. And Anonymous, $1,000. Would you pray for 7 more people to call in with 1,000? Mother, you're just so greedy. You don't have any appreciation for the gifts. I said, I do. But yes, I'm greedy. Because how could I not be? Jesus was not greedy. He gave his whole life. He died for us. He died to open heaven, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life. We need to do this, beloved. So 1-877-711-8500. And you know what? I know what. Scott, you called in with 325. I think that's probably the most you could do. So I tell you what, would someone call in with $70? We'll divide it in half. We'll make Scott a mission partner, and we'll make you a $35 donor. That doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about it. Forget what I said. I'm just trying to figure things out here. So I
do want to add one more thing, Mother. This is my fault for not noticing this right off the bat. But Zach sent us a little note, and this whole hour, Mother, dollar for dollar match. So everyone's gift is being doubled by a generous extra donor. Scott's gift is doubled. Anonymous, Elizabeth, they're all doubled.
Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, all of you. Can you think of that $8,000? If we reach $7,025.60, that's what we'll have. We won't have it double. But if we reach 8,000, we'll have 16. It's just
I think every dollar's doubled, Mother. Every single gift. So if someone gives $1 to us, that's going to be $2. So it's not just the $8,000 goal. It's everything we can raise during this hour will be doubled. So Scott has already given us the 325, and now it's 650. Yep. And Anonymous, that 1,000 has already turned into 2,000, and Elizabeth's 360 has turned into 720, I believe.
But for the 8,000 goal, it's exactly what people donate, I believe. Not the double, because then we just need 4,000.
No, because we still need to reach that goal for all these other donors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, there we go. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, it'll be doubled, but we still need to reach it. So dollar for dollar. All right, everybody is doubled, but we still need to reach the $8,000. Okay, that clarifies everything. I love you all. And, people have said, how do you know you're called to religious life? How do you know you're called? Well, and I say to them, I don't have a clue. But I have an answer. So I'm going to give you the answer because it's miraculous when we come back from the break. How do you know you're called? And do you have to know you're called to enter religious life? All of that. So or even to give to the Station of the Cross. Does God need to speak with you? How does he speak? We'll tell you that when we come back from the break. I'm keeping it a secret. Toll-free number, 1-877-711-8500. Go to thestationofthecross.com or iCatholic Radio app. We'll be right back.
I was raised Catholic, but then I got involved in the evangelical Christian movement. But I was in a position where I was questioning my faith and why are there so many different opposing teachings and where was the truth? I was searching, and I came to a point where I just didn't know what to believe anymore, and I never considered the Catholic faith on a Protestant station. I always listened to a certain program, and I pressed the button, and I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Unbeknownst to me, someone had keyed in the Catholic radio station, and they were talking about exactly my issue, that there were so many different opposing teachings. How could they all be true? And I never went back to the other station. I just continued to listen. And from there on in, I just was hungry. study. I wanted to learn more, and I started listening to Catholic radio, and I started studying the early church fathers as recommended on Catholic radio, and I just came to the point where I knew that I had to return to the Catholic faith a year later, and it was because I had accidentally pressed the wrong radio station. It happened to be Catholic radio. I was very thankful for Catholic radio, and that it led me to the fullness of truth. I've been back now for 4 years. It led me to have a hunger for studying the faith and knowing why the church teaches what it does, and not just accepting what people tell me, but I now wanted to study and see why the church teaches what it does.
I'm actually living in Scarborough. I love your station. I find it very good because it makes me want to try harder to be a Catholic. It's really good that I can listen to it so readily and so conveniently, and whenever I'm in the car, it is my default radio station. Thank you for your excellent programs. You have a lot of good educational and informational programs that I benefit a lot for being a Catholic. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, beloved, to Mother Miriam Live. I am live. I'm so happy to tell you that. And we are live. And we have Jake with us today. I love Jake. And I love Rick Paolini, and he's sick. So pray for him, please. In fact, you could become a mission partner by donating $360 a year for Rick. For him to be.
There we go.
I'm going to take everything I can. We need $8,000, and now we need we need 6,000 something. I forget what you'll do that. You have the math over there, Jake, right?
Yes, I do. And we actually had some wonderful gifts come in right as we went to break and then during the break. And so right now, to reach our $8,000 goal, we need just $6,050. We're already down to just needing $6,050 to reach our $8,000 goal. And again, this is a dollar-for-dollar match if you call in 877-711-8500. And the donors to thank here, we have Catherine from Auburn, New York. She gave a gift of $100, and her prayer intention is for the souls in purgatory.
And let me interrupt you to remind everyone, Jake, that we're taking every prayer intention into our rosary today. And I'm going to say to you, because I'm so brave, that you may ask anything personal of me. This is your chance to ask anything personal you wish. I can't think of what I wouldn't answer, but you might think of something that I wouldn't answer. So when you call in, give your prayer request, and if you have a personal question for me, for example, what's my favorite ice cream? And that's a little gentle, but anything in the world, you can ask it. Okay, who's after Catherine?
After Catherine, then we have Kathy. And Kathy's from Ridgeway, Ontario, so a wonderful Canadian listener. And she gave a one-time gift of $25, which again is doubled, so that's $50. And she says, prayer for kids and family members to return to the church and for the success of our fall appeal. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Bless you, bless you.
And a gift from Eugene in Buffalo, New York, one-time gift of $200, and asks for prayers for families. Wonderful intention.
Excellent. And I want to repeat that just for calling in, whether you give or not, if you simply call in and say, I want to donate $1 a week, $1 a month, $1 a year, or we're over our budget, I can't donate anything, but I want that DVD on the family. So you can do that. Any call is going to get, and you want it, this DVD on the family. Okay, any call. If you don't want it, you can give it away. And if you listen to it and you like it, and there's a family in trouble, you can give it away. It talks about God's design for the family, which is his institution to build his kingdom. There's no church without the family. There's no society without the family. So it talks about the husband being the head, the wife being the heart, how to raise your children, how to live in a world that's turned from God. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, call. I said I'd tell you how you know if you're called. So people often, even women that want to come in, and let me mention this, we're going to be having new retreats for all those ages 18 and up. And I always say it's 18 to 118, but if you're 119 and you can keep our rule, we'll make an exception. So if you're 18 and over, we're going to have some retreats starting November, and just give us a holler, email us, go to motherofisraelshope.org website, and just let us know you're interested, and we'll take it from there. Okay, but this is for the Station of the Cross, not for Mother Miriam Live. It is for Mother Miriam Live and Jim Havens and Ask a Priest and Joe McLean and every single one on the Station of the Cross to keep the Station of the Cross going. I was with Catholic Answers for 9 years before this community started, and I would travel all over, and I would meet people, and they'd say, our local station's off the air. What am I going to... And I said, did you donate? And they said, well, no, because we didn't have too much. I mean, we could have maybe sometimes we could have given $10 maybe a couple of times a year, but we thought that's too little. We were embarrassed. And I said, no, that's why it went off the air. This was years ago, and the average local station took $40,000 a month to keep going. Now, I'm throwing this figure out years later. I don't know what it is now, but don't hesitate. If you have $1 a month, send it to the Station of the Cross for the salvation of people, for the salvation of souls, and teach your children to give a tithe. If they mow the lawn and they get $20, let them give you $2. If they get $1 salary, let them give you 10 cents, and pool it together. And at the end of the month, see how much you have. Maybe you'll have $16.23. Send it to the Station of the Cross so they can send it out. Keep going. You will be part of the salvation of thousands of souls. So we need to be stewards of all we give. And the tithe is a simple thank you. We could never thank God for all he gives. Let me give the number, 1-877-711-8500, 1-877-711-8500. We need a little over $6,000.
We actually need less than that now, Mother. We've had some wonderful gifts come in.
Wow.
We had Tim with a one-time gift of $150.
God bless you.
And Anonymous from Strikersville, New York. I always love the name of that place. Strikersville, New York. One-time gift of the Mission Partner level, $360.
Yay.
So we have raised $2,460 so far this hour. So we're way closer to our goal of $8,000 now.
Okay. God bless all of you. I'm writing you down. We're taking you into our prayers, Scott and Anonymous, Elizabeth, Catherine, Kathy, Eugene, Tim, and Anonymous. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Okay. Mother, would you please tell us how you were called already? You said that 3 times. Okay, I'll tell you now. I had no idea of being a nun. I was Jewish. I still am. I'm the most Jewish a Jew could be is to be Catholic. So I'm not Jewish anymore. My religion is Catholicism, which is the fulfillment of Judaism. So I'm a Hebrew Catholic. I'm a Catholic of Hebrew roots, Jewish roots, and I believe in God's word and the fulfillment of it, that he sent the Jewish Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah, and I am a Jewish Catholic or a Hebrew Catholic, whatever you want to call it. And so I grew up in a conservative Jewish home, and we knew there were 2 people in the world. I'm not going to give my whole testimony, just how I was supposedly called. And 2 people in the world, Jews and non-Jews. We never had a negative word about non-Jewish people. We were beaten up. My brother was stabbed once, and we were beaten because we're Jews and because we told we were Christ killers. And I didn't know who Christ was. How could I kill somebody I never even met? I didn't know who he was. How could I be his killer? Anyway, that's how we grew up. And when I got older, I've been on my own since I'm 17, and I worked in Manhattan. We used to see nuns, black and white, habits to the floor, walking through Brooklyn where I grew up. And all of a sudden in the 60s, it was the miniskirt era, the news came out that nuns had permission to shorten their habits to knee length. I didn't even know the word habit. But the middle of the miniskirt era, I thought, my goodness, whoever these women are, they're in the world to bring the world to God. And instead, the world has brought them. They're in the world to affect the world for God. Instead, the world has affected them, because I thought it was a response to the miniskirt era that all of a sudden nuns' habits would be knee length. It was shocking. And that's all. The thing of that is, it had nothing to do with me, but something ripped through me like an electric bolt ripped through me. And it paralyzed me for a second and a half physically. And the thing was, it had nothing to do with me, but it was my loss. I was 19 years old. It was my deep and immediate loss. I lost what wasn't mine, had nothing to do with me. 26 years later, I was listening to a troublemaker named Scott Hahn because my brother had entered the Catholic Church and I was trying to save him. So I was listening to tapes, and Scott Hahn gave his testimony, and he said at the end of the 4-hour debate with systematic Presbyterian, systematic theology, and Protestant, at the end of a 4-hour debate, Scott Hahn said, for the one who will look into the claims of the Catholic Church, 2,000 years of church history, the church fathers and such, he said, to that person will come, Scott's words, a holy shock and a glorious amazement to find out what he had been fighting and to save people from was what the church Christ established, the Catholic Church. And the holy shock, physical electric bolt that went through me when I was 19 years old at the shortening of nuns' habits went through me that moment with Scott's words. And I stood paralyzed again for a second and a half or longer. And at that moment, I was heading Protestant women's ministries of a large Protestant evangelical church. And at that moment, I knew from that holy shock that if I did not look into the claims of the Catholic Church, I'd be turning from God. Why would God want me, of all people? I want people out of the Catholic Church. I thought it was the whore of Babylon. I thought it was a man-made false religious system. Why would God want me, of all people, to look into the Catholic Church? And I said, well, maybe to better save Catholics. And that began a 4.5-year journey and to the Catholic Church. And when I was leaving my Protestant, full-time Protestant ministry, I went to New York and I took a waitress job because I didn't want any company to invest in me. So I took a waitress job. And I had dinner. I told 4 people in the world. I had dinner with my best friend in the world, an evangelical. And I told her that I'm not telling anyone. The reason I'm not telling anyone is because I don't want to confuse them if the Catholic Church is wrong. And I don't want them trying to save me when I've already been looking into the faith for a couple of years and I already know a lot of answers that they would have objections to. And so I said to her, I'm going to New York, take a waitress job. And I said, Beth, I need to see if the Catholic Church is true. And she looked at me. We were in the middle of I told this story before, a big sizzle restaurant in California. And she said, Rosalind Moss, my given name. She said, Roz, if you become Catholic, you're not going to be a nun, are you? And I thought, a nun? I said, Beth, I never thought of that. But I said, could you see me? My instant response, I said, could you see me walking through this sizzler restaurant in a black and white habit to the floor? Because that's what I knew from Brooklyn. I said, even if people think I'm a medieval wacko, they have to think of God. Whatever they think of God, they have to think of God. And I could look back now and tell you that from that day, I'm not going to be a nun, that's crazy. But I've never stopped longing to be assigned to God in the world. And so here I am. There's a lot more stories to that. I might tell you a few of them. But we have to hear the phone ring. Hurry up, because, look, we're going on our half-hour break. And how are we doing? Let me get the number, 1-877-711-8500. See, I talk and I don't have the phones ring. It bothers me. 1-877-711-8500 or thestationofthecross.com or your iCatholic radio app. How are we doing, Jake?
Well, we had another gift come in. This is from Mary Francis, and she gives a gift of $50. She's from Norwood, Massachusetts.
Beautiful.
And she asks for prayers for the Canavan and Boudreaux family. So that's Mary Francis. And we are down to needing $5,540 to reach our goal this hour.
Excellent. In fact, we just had a novice who entered officially religious life by becoming, a postulant. She became a novice, and I named her Sister Mary Francis.
Beautiful.
Mary Francis of the Gentle Savior, because it's after St. Francis de Sales.
Oh, lovely.
So I
love St. Francis de Sales.
He's my man. Okay, we'll be right back after the break. Please, can I beg you? I beg you. I'm not ashamed. I beg you to call in during the break. 1-877-711-8500, iCatholic Radio app, or the stationofthecross.com. We are not even halfway to our $8,000 goal, and we must do it within a half hour. I love you.
I was baptized Catholic when I was young and was never into my faith. I went to church once a year, had a conversion back to my faith about 8 years ago, and was just hungry, wanting to know all about God and my faith, and I didn't know where to go, and I saw a Catholic bumper sticker, and I turned on 1460. Every day I took my daughter to preschool, and for those 2 hours, I would listen to 1460. It taught me my rosary. It taught me my Our Father, Hail Marys, all the prayers. I got to learn my basic Catholic faith through that, and it became a part of my life. Every morning, I would go spend a couple hours by the lake listening to the radio, and then go back and pick up my daughter, and it transformed me. It was very instrumental to my faith, and I completely support it and just see how God used that to nurture me back to my faith. I now actually put one on my car, hoping that it will inspire others to listen to the radio station. So thank you so much for all that you do in spreading the word. The Lord our God used that to teach me.
I gladly testify that the Station of the Cross is a very good influence in my life. I always find encouragement for everyday living, and especially for the challenges that are unique to us Catholics. I also constantly learn new and interesting things about our faith, and I'm up to date on the news that are important to us. Plus, the radio hosts are like family, so it's always nice to listen. I believe that God does transform lives through the Station of the Cross, and that's why I'm happy to support it spiritually and financially, because that way I participate of the same evangelistic ministry. I suggest that we all keep listening to the station, especially with an open heart, and that we recommend it to our friends and families so that they too receive the blessings that we ourselves have received.
Welcome back, beloved, to Mother Miriam Live. We have a half hour left, and we have $5,540 to raise in this next half hour. I tell you, every time I listen to one of these magnificent testimonies, I think about all of you listening to them and how God must confirm to your heart that you're a part of this great mission and missionary venture to get the whole gospel to the whole world. It must do your heart good. My heart just swells with gratitude. So I'm telling you how I founded this order. Okay, so I became Catholic. 1995, I entered the church, and I continued 9 years with Catholic Answers, the greatest Catholic evangelistic apostolic apologetics company. That's what that exists. It's wonderful, Catholic.com. So I was with them for 9 years, and I would travel and do conferences, and I'd be sitting on a plane praying the rosary in normal clothes, and people would say, "Are you a nun?" All the time. "Are you a nun?" No, I'm not a nun. Why are you even asking me? In fact, it made me upset, because no one should think a woman in regular clothes is a nun. It's because of the jettisoning of habits. It just made me upset. But one day I did a conference. Okay, let me give you the number. If I talk too long, I don't hear the phones ring and I get nervous. 1-877-711-8500, 1-877-711-8500, or you can give through the stationofthecross.com or the iCatholic Radio app, or you may have received an envelope in the mail and call in and say, "I'm mailing that envelope today, and it's a mission partner gift of $360, $1 a day." What do you think? How are we doing, Jake?
Well, we're still at the, let's see here. Oh, no, we just had a new one come in. This is great.
All right.
David from Camillus, New York, one-time gift of $20. Every little bit counts. That's fantastic, David. Thank you so much. And David asks, for the station to draw many more souls to unity, to Christ and his mother Mary. What a beautifully written intention. I love that.
Beautiful. And the only way to unity is truth.
Yes.
There's no unity apart from truth. And I love, David, I love your name. It's my brother's name. And I love my brother. And I thought, how is it that My brother got the best name in the whole world. I wondered that all my life. It never occurred to me that it's the best name because I love my brother. That never occurred to me. I just knew that he got the best name ever after King David. So I love it. Okay, so now I'm on a mission trip, to give a conference, a huge conference in Orlando, Florida. And the 9 speakers, it's several thousand people, a lot. And I gave 2 talks, and I gave the second talk on a Sunday afternoon, and I told them I would be down in the vendors area with Catholic Answers for 30 minutes, and I had to leave for the plane. So I went down, and people were coming to say hello. And there was a family, a mother and 2 children. I don't remember if the papa was there, but the mother had a baby in the carriage and a 6-year-old by her side. And I found out they had 2 in between at home. I said maybe the father was at home taking care of the children. I don't know. But the little 6-year-old came up to me, and there's behind the table with Catholic Answers books, and he looks at me and he says, "Where's your jacket?" Well, when I spoke at the conference, I had on a turquoise suit, blue jacket, blue skirt, and a flowered blouse, short sleeve, not short, but near the elbow, and round collar. It's very warm in there. The air conditioner was out. So I took the jacket off and put it on the chair. He said, "Where's your jacket?" And I said to him, "It's on the chair. I was warm. Is this okay?" I'm asking a 6-year-old if this is modest enough. He said, "Yeah, I was just wondering." Well, I sat down, and which made me eye level with this little boy. And I said, "What's your name?" He was 6 years old. No, he wasn't. He was 8 years old. He was 8 years old. And I looked at him, and I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "John Paul." I said, "Good name, John Paul. What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he said, "I want to be a construction worker and a Trappist monk." He's 8 years old. And we exchanged a few more sentences, and then this little 8-year-old John Paul looked straight into my eyes, and he said, "Why aren't you a nun?" Out of the blue. And my heart, it physically leapt. It could have come out of my throat. It physically leapt in my chest. I lost my breath. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, I don't know, John Paul. Do you think I should be one?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Why should I be a nun?" He said, "Because nuns are good and they teach children." I said, "Do you have a nun teaching you?" He said, "No, we homeschool. My mom teaches us." Well, I had 30 seconds to leave to the plane. I figured I'll take him on as my consultant. I said, "John Paul, how will I know if God wants me to be a nun?" And he looked in my eyes and he said, "Ask him." I said, "Okay, I will, but what will he say? How will I know?" And John Paul said, "He'll say yes." And I looked at his mother, and I went, and she went, "I don't know." And I left for the plane, and up in the air, in the clouds, I asked the Blessed Mother if she would appear to me, and she didn't. And that was one of many, many things. That was really huge. But it was one of many things that happened to me in so many years. And finally, there's so many things. One very well-known, beautiful priest said, you can't join an order. You have to start one because of your personality and all I've done and all that. So one day I took my heart to Cardinal Burke, who was then Archbishop of Los Angeles, and I told him what my heart was. And I said, I want 1 million women before I die and 20 million after I die, flooding the world with habits, black and white habits to the floor, signs to God. That's what I want. And he invited me to St. Louis and to start this community. And the story goes on from there. And here I am now in Texas. So it's been quite a journey, beloved, quite a journey. What can I say? Nothing matters but truth. Nothing matters but having a reason to exist and to know what, like that woman just said, not just what we believe, but why we believe what we believe. You can't tell people what you don't know. You know what? I asked a Catholic on my way to the church, "What's the Eucharist?" She said, I said, "Do you believe in it?" She said, "Well, I think I do." "Well, what is it?" She said, I'm not sure. And she referred me to someone I might ask. That's horrible, horrible. You need to know your faith. And everything we have nothing that's not from God. Everything we have is to give away. Everything we have is to give away. So call in 1-877-711-8500 or go to thestationthecross.com or iCatholic Radio app. How are we doing, Jake?
We had some more gifts come in, Mother.
Yay.
We have Maria from Clovis, California, all the way out in California. One-time gift of $41.08. And Rick, I'm sure, explained that, but that's because people generously offer to pay for the processing fees of credit cards and stuff that we run. So really wonderful gift there. And then another one here, Christy from, I think it's Monica, PA, and the gift is $10.27. And Christy, I'm gonna pull a Rick right here and ring the bell because Christy's a first-time donor. Thank you so much, Christy.
Yay.
And then we also have a gift here from James in Meadville, PA, or it might be Medville. I can't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, that's a gift of $50, and the intention is thank Mother Miriam for speaking the truth.
Oh, James.
Well, thank you, Mother Miriam.
Yeah, well, I can't even say you're welcome. I thank God that that He's opened our hearts to know and to long for the truth. Jake, you might know, and I think I said something yesterday, but the USCCB, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, have just approved what some have described as a, quote, gay-washed Bible. It's put together by Father James Martin. They've eliminated all words on homosexuality from the scriptures. It's horrible. It's demonic. And the fact that the USCCB would approve it is also demonic. And if anyone wants to, CatholicCulture.org has a full article on it. It's terrible. And it's, and people say, well, why should I give then? Why should people enter the Catholic Church? Because it's the truth. As Pope Paul VI said, the smoke of Satan's entered the church. The church, not 40,000, 50,000 Protestant denominations. The church, the truth. His only goal is to destroy the work and the people of God. He started in the garden with Adam and Eve, all through the Old Covenant. He tried to eliminate Israel. He's still trying to eliminate Israel, that God is not done with, and the people of God. And so the Catholic Church is the fulfillment of Christianity, the full measure of Judaism, and rather the fulfillment of Judaism, the full measure of Christianity. And he's still at it because he knows his time is close. He knows we're nearing the end times. How close we are, nobody knows. But he knows that. And so he's going to fight everything. He's going to fight everyone. Make Catholics weak. Priests and bishops and cardinals. Pope Leo is appointing LGBT people left and right to head Vatican offices. He's making homosexuality, lesbianism, same-sex everything normal. It's demonic. It's what God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for. And he said if he allows this, he'd have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's horrible, beloved. And it could be that there will be, as Pope Benedict XVI said, a remnant of us left. Be part of the remnant. Our Lady of Fatima said that it is sexual sins that will bring most people to hell, and the Church is helping them to hell by approving what is deviant, what is sinful, what is demonic. The Church is approving it. The Church doesn't approve it, beloved. The Church, Christ is the head of the Church. Truth doesn't change. We have the truth once delivered to the saints, as Jude wrote. But the people of the Church are, including the Pope and prelates and cardinals and bishops, they're destroying the Mass of the Ages, which they cannot. They can shut it down for a time at different times and places. They cannot destroy the work of God. They cannot, no matter what it is. They cannot. China has been destroyed by the Vatican by being in partnership with the China political party leaders who appoint their own bishops. But there's an underground church, and they're doing their best to destroy the underground church. But you cannot destroy true believers. You can't. You can't. Take away our church. We'll follow the moles, M-O-L-E-S, into the ground, and we'll build our churches. You cannot destroy You cannot. The gates of hell will not prevail against the church, but they are prevailing against many people, especially our prelates. And that's very, very tragic. So Catholics, know your faith. And if you go to confession and you're living with someone and you say to the priest, we're living together in sin, but we plan to get married, and he says, okay, as long as you plan to get married, it's okay. It's not okay. He's leading you to hell, and he will be accountable for that. No, if you think something is sin and you hear that it's okay, do not believe it. God has given you a conscience. You need to look up your faith. You need to believe the truth. There's many good websites, many good books. When I came into the church, my brother David made sure that I knew pre-Vatican II books. And that's what I followed, the Council of Trent and all of them, 200 books. Why? Because there's no good books after the Vatican II. There are many good books. But I wasn't Catholic enough to be able to discern that. But if I got pre-Vatican II, I would be safe. So, beloved, know your faith. Don't keep it to yourself. If we keep the truth to ourselves, Father San Fortuna said, we are thieves. We have nothing we haven't received, and everything we've received is to give away. So please call in, beloved. There's the music for our last break. We're going to have about 10 minutes, and we need to raise over $5,000 in 10 minutes. So I bless God for you. Our hearts are one. If you want the Catholic faith, you want the truth, and nothing but the truth, and no compromise, and no muddy waters, then you are part of this remnant. Call in 1-877-711-8500. Keep the Station of the Cross on the air. It's up to us, beloved. It's every testimony you have is because of the dollars and cents that you give. So God bless you all. Go to thestationofthecross.com. Go through your iCatholic Radio app. And again, call 1-877-711-8500. We'll be right back.
Just inspired me to be a better person, just listening, and it just get me more energized and motivated to even speak about our Catholic faith to others and to tell other people about Catholic radio. I've learned so much. I'm very enthusiastic now about my faith because different programs came out with the Silent No More campaign. I'd never really told anybody that I had 3 abortions in the past, and listening to Catholic radio made me seek help and become healed. Now I speak various times about abortion myself, have helped other people to come out and get healed from abortion, and all because of Catholic radio. They're very inspiring.
Catholic radio means just about everything to me because I listen to it daily. I have learned so much. I have a friend who has returned to the church, and she has said that she feels that I have told her so much. But each little thing that I learn, I try to pass it on. I hope this goes on for another 100 years at least, past my years. And I thank you, and God bless you.
I called in a few weeks ago during Mother Miriam's program to donate extra, even though we donate monthly, because the station needed more money to get that $25,000. I had asked at the time if, the station and the listeners could pray that I could get pregnant, and I just wanted to let you all know that I'm pregnant now, and it's only been like a week or two. So I'm sure it's because of the prayers and just the good that the Station of the Cross does. So I'm just so grateful, and I wanted to call and let you all know thank you for all the work y'all do.
I really enjoy listening to Catholic radio. It keeps me up to date with current events and how they affect our faith life. Every day I learn more and more about what it is to be Catholic.
Thank you. God bless you for iCatholic Radio. It has changed my life.
Welcome back, beloved family, to Mother Miriam Live. We are live, and we have, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to raise over $5,000. And this is not just the last segment of Mother Miriam Live, it's the last day of the fund drive. And we have a goal to reach, beloved. We want to get over $8,000, and we have $5,000, before the break, $5,540. So As we often say, if there's a short person there that wants to help us fill up the shortfall of $5,000, and then somebody else $500, and someone else $40, whatever it is, whatever you can donate. You know, Jake, I could listen to those testimonies at break all day.
Aren't they moving?
Fill my heart. They're beautiful.
They really are wonderful. We actually have less than $5,000 left to raise, Mother.
Good.
We had some wonderful gifts come in. We had Margaret in Lynn, Massachusetts, and she gave a one-time gift of $150. Beautiful. That's fantastic. Paul from Westwood, Massachusetts, and he gave a monthly gift, and this was a total of $240. That's the sustainer level gift. And
Excellent.
he receives the brown scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, this is a great day to receive that.
Yes,
exactly.
good. And the DVD. Uh-huh.
Yes, yep. And his intention, prayer for friends who are ill and healing, friends who are going in for surgery, a friend who needs a new kidney, oh goodness, and a friend who needs good treatment for Parkinson's. From
wow.
Paul. So
and I
thank
think
you so
I know
much.
this, Paul. God bless you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Paul, for that wonderful gift, and those intentions will be prayed for. And then Marcia from Salem, Massachusetts, and this is wonderful, a one-time gift of $18, and Marcia asks, her intention, for her Jewish husband and her daughter to convert to the Catholic faith.
Oh, wow, Marcia, God bless you. I'm going to recommend 2 books to you, Honey from the Rock, 16 Jews who came into the church believing it's not the rejection but the fulfillment of Judaism, and then Salvation is from the Jews, both of them by Roy Shulman. Bless you, Marcia.
And then another gift here just came in, Charlotte from Lowell, Massachusetts, and Charlotte gives $150. And again, all these gifts are doubled because it's a dollar for dollar matching.
So great.
And that's
so
wonderful.
Great.
And her intention is pray for family members to return to the faith, end
Yes.
abortion, holy vocations, and thanks for Mother Miriam, and also for Rick to get well. Amen to that.
Oh, bless you, Charlotte. All of you. God bless you. What do we need now?
Let me see here. I'm going to have to edit up. It's just over $5,700. I think that's where we're at. So over. We need just. Oh, sorry. Wait. 4,000. We need just over $4,700. Yeah. I'm a history major, Mother, not a math major. I'm sorry.
Oh, how cute. Okay. Good. Well, it remind me of Cardinal John Henry Newman's statement: to look deep into history is to cease to be Protestant.
Amen.
Such a great. Yeah, I am not a history major, but that's what helped me come into the church, to look past the Reformation, to the Protestants. The church fathers are Luther and Zwingli and Calvin and all that. But no. If you go deep into history and you look at the church fathers, Polycarp was discipled by the evangelist John, and all of them, all the Ignatius, and you will be Catholic because there are no Protestants back then. So no Protestants back then. What can we do for the last 10 minutes, beloved? Somebody call in and tell me what you'd like me to answer. Nobody's asked me a personal question yet. This is amazing. I mean,
I have a somewhat personal question I could ask you, Mother.
All right.
I was wondering, because you were telling us about how you realized, over time and with this wonderful call to your vocation to be a nun, when you actually founded your order, the Daughters of Mary, Mother of Israel's Hope, when you actually founded that order, was there any moment, maybe on that day or that week or something, was there any special moment that kind of showed you God's hand in reaching you to that point,
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. I'm a goosebump. My spiritual director, actually, there's a huge thing that happened. We don't have time, but there's a huge thing. What can I do for this? It's a fantastic story. But yes, I had met a priest who started an order in Tijuana, and it's such a gorgeous story. I wish we had 20 minutes for me to tell it, but I went to visit them, and when I visited them, they all spoke Spanish in Tijuana, very poor. It was a dirt floor, just incredible, just fantastic. And I sat there, and I had no intention of, I thought about a religious, so I thought about being a religious, but he must have read my heart. And he asked the women, they were sitting in a U shape, and he asked each one to say something to me. And my given name, Rosalind, he called Rosalinda. So he went around, he had, I don't know, over a dozen young ladies there. And he said, each one of you say something to Rosalinda. And one of them got up and she said in her broken English, I never thought I'd meet someone with the Blessed Mother's blood. It just blew me away. And every one of them said, ask God and he will show you. And the priest, this holy, gorgeous priest, looked at me and he said, Rosalinda, he read my heart. He said, Rosalinda, we want you to come with us and be our co-founder. He said, I could put a habit on you today. Jake, there's so much to do. But my heart filled with such love. He read me, and I almost burst with love and desire. But I couldn't. How do I do that? I can't let them put a habit on me. And I had already said yes to EWTN and doing a whole series. And what am I going to do about that? And I went back to my spiritual, but it was so strong. My heart was bursting with desire. And I went back to my spiritual director, who is the prior of a huge, beautiful order of men, of priests in California. And I told him the story. And he said, oh, I don't see this for you at all. I said, I know, but what was it for? And he said, it's the first thing that's ever put you over the top of believing that God would do this with you and through you. Because I wouldn't believe it. I'm not the type to be a nun. Why would God? He wouldn't want me. Come on, I'm not the type. And he said, this is the first thing that put you over the top, that made you believe that God wanted you to be a religious. And he was right. I think about it now and I could cry. I'm a goosebump. It was huge. And from there, he prayed and the abbot of the order prayed, and they both came to the decision that God would have me start this order. And I said, I don't believe it. I did general confession with him of my whole life. I was a great, terrific sinner. How could God wouldn't want me? I said to my spiritual director, how do you know? He said, I know. I said, how do you know? He said, I know. How do you know? We prayed, I know. So I dared, with his confirmation and the abbots and another priest that knew me well, that I started this. And I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm not afraid of anything. The only fear I have is to dishonor God. And I don't want to start this and have women in the habits in the streets if they're not properly formed. I don't want to dishonor God. But he led me to do this, and Archbishop Burke received me, and it started from there, Jake. So when people ask me today, how do you know you're called? My answer is, I don't know. Yeah, he does different things with different people. If I told you now, after all these years, it's the start in 2008. So it's 16 years or so, 15, 16 years. If I said to you now I'm not called, I would be stupid. I would be negating what God has done. But I didn't feel a call. I had tons of miracles. All I did was have a desire that is relentless. And I wake up every morning, and people said the habit's going to get old. Nothing's going to get old. I can't believe I'm alive every morning. I can't believe I know God. I can't believe he poured his love on me. I can't believe he allows me to wear this habit. I'm a Jew from Brooklyn. I don't feel like a religious. So what do you have to feel like? I don't know. But I would wear this and shower and sleep. If a book is ever written on me, the title has to be A Hanger for God. That's all I am. I'm a hanger for God, assigned to God in the world. And the desire increases in me every day, Jake. So I don't know what question you asked me anymore.
That was a beautiful answer, Mother.
Okay.
That was wonderful. We're right down to the wire here, Mother. We've got less than $3,000 left to raise. It's to hit our $8,000 goal. It's $3,649.45. Maybe there's someone out there who can give that exact amount. That would be wonderful.
Dear.
I've got to give out the phone number real quick, 877-711-8500. That's 877-711-8500. And we did have a couple of beautiful gifts here come in after Charlotte's. We had, now the name here says John, but it's the prayers say for her granddaughter and her husband. Oh, it's for her granddaughter's husband. So this is John is asking for his granddaughter and for his granddaughter's husband to return to the church. And John from East Aurora, New York, gave $50. So thank you, John. And then one more, Christopher from Massachusetts, Dudley, Massachusetts. And that was a one-time gift of $400. So he went for the mission partner and went above and beyond, Mother.
God bless you,
And that was praying for peace in the Middle East. Amen to that.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we had, the phone's ringing. That's great. That's great. We're getting right down. There's 2 minutes left in this hour. And there was a donation that didn't show up, so I missed it. But Tricia brought it to my attention. Sherry's donation of $35 in addition to her existing pledge to bring Scott's donation up to that mission partner level. Mother.
Oh, Sherry, God bless you.
Someone answered.
So, how beautiful, Sherry. I love it. Scott, I hope you're listening. You have a donor, Sherry, and now you're a mission partner.
There
Sherry,
we go.
you sweetheart.
Oh, and one more coming in here. Donna from Gettsville, New York. $150 prayers for peace and reconciliation and conversion for family.
Okay, could somebody call in with $3,500? Then we'll be even. $3,500. And I know we're off the air now, but you still have 2 minutes, a minute and a half, $3,500. Last day, and I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend, but still call in. God bless you.
You're listening to the station of the Cross Catholic Media Network, WQOM Natick, WPMW Middleborough Center, WH